Hey, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I truly appreciate you clicking on the video. If not, then obviously you guys know what this channel is all about. But today we're going to be talking about the cheap Teslas. What are some of the benefits of having a cheaper Tesla, and are there such things as cheap Teslas? I think it's worth talking about. I have a lot of people asking me about this. Recently, there's been a huge surge of demand with regards to Teslas, at least here in Vancouver where I live. There's a lot of people who are really trying to get their hands on Teslas, but it's taking time. Currently, we're in middle of September, and I have friends who are going to be waiting till November to get their Model 3, for example. So the demand for Teslas are pretty high. So of course, I kind of expect people to be asking this question. So cheap Teslas, let's talk about them. First and foremost, you can find I guess, cheap Tesla, but you're probably going to be paying pretty high overall anyway. I don't think there is such thing as a cheap Tesla. Even when the so-called $25,000, and this is US, $25,000 Tesla will come out, I don't think it's going to be cheap. And I think it's really bad that I keep seeing other YouTubers and media in general talking about, the cheap Tesla, the $25,000 cheap Tesla coming out. $25,000 is not cheap by any means. $25,000 is quite a bit of money. And for a lot of people, that's, what they make in a freaking year. So it's not, Teslas in general are not going to be cheap. But let's talk about it as far as in its own category and what you're getting for your money that you're putting into it. I think a lot of people forget that for most people, Tesla, a car, for example, is their second biggest investment aside from their house. And for some people, believe it or not, it's actually their first highest investment. I know people who have they bought their house for $110,000 and they ended up paying $140,000, $150,000 for a Tesla. So it's kind of a give and take. But that being said, realistically, it's going to be the second biggest investment you'll ever make. And when it comes to Tesla, that's a guarantee, because you can go out there and buy any used little Prius or whatever, or Honda Civic, a 10-year-old Honda Civic, and you can pick it up for $2,000, $3,000. But when it comes to a cheap Tesla, it's almost impossible to find. Today, for example, the Model 3s are selling like hotcakes at pretty high prices. Same with the Model S's, X's, obviously. Model Ys, I don't see Model Ys coming on the market too often. But then we're looking at, the more affordable version of the Tesla, whatever it's going to be called, coming up, in a year or 2 years, depending on X factors. And people refer to it as the cheaper Tesla or the cheap Tesla, but it's not, it doesn't fit there. It's not, you're never going to buy a cheap Tesla as far as I'm concerned. Teslas will never be cheap. There's just too many things that come with buying the car. The more people become aware of these cars, the more people are going to want it. So at least in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think you're going to be able to pick up very, very good deals. And I'm talking deals where, it's under 20,000, right? So I think it's going to be a long time before that happens. The second part to that, I think that's really important to note, is although Teslas have no maintenance, things can get pretty expensive if you have to repair it outside of warranty. So let's say you pick up a more affordable, let's say Model 3, first generation Model 3. Let's say you can pick it up at a very good price, or let's call it even half the price of what the original owner paid for it. But if that vehicle is out of warranty, things can end up costing you if something goes wrong. And I have to focus on the word "if" here, because frankly, I've seen some of these cars go for the past 10 years, like even the Model S's, where they haven't had a single issue. It's not impossible. So if something goes wrong, it's going to cost you. My Model S 100D, that's what I drive. And if I want to replace a single headlight, it's like $2,400 Canadian for one headlight, right? And the things happen. Well, if I'm out of warranty, that's quite a bit of money to be putting in there. And you can always say, yeah, you can go through insurance and all that stuff, but not really, right? Not everything is covered by insurance. So I think for you to look at a cheap Tesla, I don't think there is such a thing. I don't think there will be for quite a while, just based on the demand aspect of Teslas. When it comes to buying your vehicle, you should always buy a vehicle that is, if it makes sense, buy it. If it doesn't make sense, don't buy it. And Tesla owners in general will, more often than not, there's talks about, no, you should buy a Tesla. They're great. I love my car. I love Teslas. But I'm very careful about, suggesting the car for everybody. I think that it's not for everybody. It's not necessarily because they don't want the car, but if they're not using it enough, it's not worth putting in the kind of money that it costs to buy a Tesla. It's not worth putting that money in. So here in Canada, you're looking at Model 3 or Model Y. You can pay upwards of $70,000+ for these cars. But if you're only using that car for short commutes here and there, there's no point spending your money. So I think for most people, when it comes to an affordable or cheap Tesla, put that out of your mind. It's not going to exist. And even if you buy the lowest end possible, you have to realize that there's a lot of things that come with buying, saving that money. I pretty much tell everybody, if it's possible, always go for the long range all-wheel drive. If it's possible, go for that, because that is the best bang for the buck. That's where you really put, at least you're getting the best value for the money that you're going to be putting into it. The performance, I don't recommend it for anybody. I just don't see it. There's no real need for it. And when you're looking at standard range, the very base model, I think you're losing too much for the amount of money that you're saving. So that's my opinion on it. Realistically, like I said, there is no such thing as a cheap Tesla, and I don't expect there to be for many years to come. The higher the demand is, the more people can sell their cars for a much higher price. And this is happening now. There's places where a Model 3, actually a 2-year-old Model 3 is selling very, very close to the original price. So yeah, I don't see this changing anytime soon. All right, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Till then, leave me your comment. Tell me what you guys think. And are you looking for a Tesla? Are you searching for a cheap version of Tesla? Are you looking forward to getting the more affordable Tesla? I'm very curious. Catch you guys on the next one. Till then, drive safe, everyone. Bye.